So now that you have SQL downloaded, we can start making databases and queries. So the way we're going to do that is to go into File and hit New Query. From here, we can create a database. So we're going to type in Create Database, and you can name it whatever you want. I'm going to go ahead and name this Ceviche because I'm Drake and I went on a super fun trip to Cancun recently. Awesome. And then you can hit Run. You'll notice we're not connected, so it's going to prompt us to connect. And there we go. So you can just type in localhost, and then SA, which was our username, and the password we set up in our last video. And then you can connect it, and now we've made our new database. You may notice if you go into database that you won't actually see it show up. That's okay. To get it to show up, we're just going to go into localhost and refresh it. Alright, there it is. So now we've made that database, but there's no information in it. So what we want to do is create a table to add some information. The first thing we want to do when doing this is just make sure our connection is in the right place. So we're going to select Ceviche for this one. And with that selected, then we can go ahead and create the table. We're going to go into the bar and type in Create Table. And again, you can name it whatever you want. I'm just going to name it Ceviche again for simplicity. And then we'll create it. So go ahead and run that. And it'll open up some parentheses for us to create the table in. Let's go ahead and just call some different types of fish that you can create ceviche with. So I'll name shrimp. So we'll go ahead and type in shrimp. And we want to have this as a number amount, so I'm going to type in int, int. Add a new line and go octopus, int, and then fish, int. I guess really only one of these is a fish, but that's life. So now we have our table created, but there's no information in it. So we do want to add some values into that table that we've created. So what we're going to do is go down to a new line and type in insert into DBO dot, and then whatever name of the table for us ceviche. And then we can go into our next line and just name the things that we want to add into. So in this case, let's just do all of them. So we'll type in shrimp, octopus, and fish, and the parentheses there. And then we can go into our next line and provide values for those. So we're just going to type in values. And then let's just say 1 shrimp, 2 octopus, and 4 fish. Yeah. And then you can end the whole line with a semicolon and run that. So if you want to see how that table turned out, you can go over into databases, click into ceviche, open up our tables, and you'll see that dbo.ceviche table we made. If you select the top 1,000 results, you'll see the only results we put in there. So that's our shrimp, octopus, fish. Alright, and if you want to add some more data in, I'm just going to copy and paste this for simplicity. And let's just add some more data. So let's change this one. And we'll have 359. Then we'll copy paste again. And now we're going to have some more numbers. 6, 9, and 5. So we can just execute all that new data, and we can go look into our top 1,000 again, and it's all there. Awesome. Lots of fish. So now we're going to teach you how to use the select command You can see that the way we displayed this table actually used the select command, but you didn't have to write it out. So we want to give you an example of how to use this. So to use the select command, you just need to type in select. And you can use this to pick a couple of columns. You can just name whatever columns you want. So let's say we want to make a new table with just 2 columns. Then I'll go ahead and type in shrimp, add a comma, and octopus. And we can choose where we're selecting that from, so we'll type in from, and then the name of our table, which in this case is ceviche. And there you go, we have our 2-column table with just shrimp and octopus. So now we're going to talk about how to use the where statement. Reasons you might use this are because lots of databases have hundreds to thousands to millions of data points, and sometimes you want to exclude those. So in this example, we've created a list of drinks. You may notice something that's different about this list, and that's that there are names in it. To make a list with names in it or data that has letters, you'll need to use the statement varchar right here, and then you'll add a number, and that is the maximum number that you're allowing for like a length of characters in that variable. So in this case, that's 50. So now that we've entered all of our data, let's go check out one of our tables over here. You'll see we have 5 names, and next to them the number of drinks that they've consumed. So we're going to work on using the where statement. So we'll actually start off doing that similar to how we started using select. So just go ahead and type select. And then you can pick your columns that we're going to use. So I'll just go ahead and type in first name, boba, and coffee, all separated by commas. Then you can type from, and this is where we'll type in the name of our table, so you can see drinks. And then the way that we're going to exclude the data is type in where, and we want to exclude, say, Natsu's drinks. So we'll type in first name, which is the column we're going to be defining that by. And then we want to set it not equal to, and so you'll use 2 outward facing arrows for that. And then in tick marks, Natsu. So where first name is not Natsu. When you execute that line, you'll see we have this table down here with everyone except Natsu. So now we're going to focus on using the join statement. The join statement will allow you to combine 2 tables based on common elements. So we're going to work with 2 different tables here. This one's named drink, and in this table you'll notice there are elements Drake, Michael, Casey, Skylar, Natsu, and then of course the number of drinks that they've consumed. If you look over at drink 2, you'll see it has the exact same first name elements, and so that will allow us to combine these using the function or the statement join. So to do that, say we want to just select 2 columns. So you can type in select, and let's pick boba and coffee. So those will be the only things we want to see in the table once we've joined them. And we'll pick that from drinks and join that with drink 2. And then when we type in the on statement, that's going to tell it where it wants to join. So we're going to join them on drink, where first name equals drink 2 dot first name. So that's going to tell it to join the 2 tables where the first names are equal to each other on drink 1 and drink 2. So now you see we've created this new table with just the boba and water values for where the names are equal to each other. So now we're going to take a look at how to use the union statement. This is going to be a column-wise way of combining tables. So I've made a couple new tables here for that example. And you can see we've got strawberry, rhubarb, apple, pumpkin pie, just different kinds of pie flavors. So you'll see me combine those into a table. Boom. And now you can see we've got first name and then the kinds of pie and the amount that they've eaten. And then we've got another table over here where we still have the first name and the kinds of pie that they've eaten. Note that all of the column names are the same despite the values being different. So the fact that these column names are the same are what's going to allow us to use the union statement to join them. So let's get to combining these tables. We're going to go ahead and start with typing select, and we're going to do that and just pick the names of the columns of this first table we're in, which is named pie. So we'll do select, type in first name, apple, strawberry, rhubarb, and pumpkin. Separate all of those with commas. And this is going to let us vertically combine our rows in all of those row names. And we're just going to say from, so it knows that we're picking our data from this first table called pie. And then we'll use the union statement. And then we're just going to do the same thing for our second table. So we're going to type in select and pick out all the same column names. And so that's just going to be first name, apple, strawberry, rhubarb, and pumpkin again. And then from, and we'll put in our other table, which is just pie 2. And then let's go ahead and execute that line. And you'll see now we've made this larger table that is 6 rows instead of 3, and that contains all of our information.